For over 10 years, members of the opposition, civil society organizations and others have been pushing for electoral reforms that would see Uganda hold elections in a more transparent and democratic manner. On Thursday, the Attorney General William Byaranga tabled the electoral reforms through a number of bills before Parliament. Among them are the prohibition of cameras and phones from polling areas. Political parties are barred from having links with pressure groups. An ex-party member can run as an independent 1 year after they quit their parties. The declaration of an election results shall be made to 5 people. Upon election as independent, a member is free to ally with a party of their choice, among others. A number of civil society organizations argue that these reforms were not framed in good faith, since they do not hinge on the recommendations given by the Supreme Court. Some of the proposals recommended by the judiciary are that the period of filing and determination of a presidential election petition be increased from 30 to at least 60 days. It also recommended that the issue of oral evidence, in addition to affidavits evidence, be accepted in court.
Having waited this long for these electoral reforms, government should have come up with reforms that are more comprehensive and that speak to some of the critical issues that have been coming through the elections that we have had over the past so many years.
Some of the reforms that have been brought by the Attorney General are clearly brought in bad spirit. Why? Because they target individuals.
The activists told NTV what they make of the proposed reforms.
I don't think there should be anything to hide, and therefore preventing journalists, preventing observers, and even preventing ordinary citizens from being able to go to polling stations with phones and their other gadgets, I think, also seems to portray a lack of transparency, and it creates even more suspicion about what could be the agenda.
It's an ill thought out reform which is only intended to gag members of political parties within the political parties, but also to gag people of free mind and free will from moving to explore other platforms.
There is also a view that there are some progressive reforms.
If you look at the whole practice of inviting people who are involved in election administration to vote sometime before the main election, I think that's a good practice.
Patricia Munabi of the Forum for Women in Democracy listed some of the reforms that were proposed by the citizens but were never considered.
The electoral management body itself and how it conducts elections, but even more foundational, how it is selected, appointed.
NTV spoke to members of parliament on this matter.
I would have thought that maybe the Attorney General could think twice before he comes back to the floor of Parliament, because we are seeing that the reforms are intended to promote life presidency.
How do you even ridiculously think that somebody should seek for permission to leave a political party? As if they are class children.
Critics say that the legislators should not be in a hurry to pass these reforms, but rather spend some time to scrutinize them and know the impact they will have on the 2021 elections and also the democracy of the country in the future. Sudhir Byaranga, NTV.